Hi, this is Faith. Welcome to another sketchbook spread where we draw whimsical artwork and just chill and relax and talk about the art or just random fun chill stuff. So if you want something to listen to while you're working or need a buddy to hang out with, you can just throw this on in the background, or you can pay attention to what I'm drawing. Whatever works for you. Today I'm working with this Pilot red pencil. This is my favorite pencil. I would say I love that it's a colored pencil, but it is erasable. Not the easiest to erase, but it is still erasable, which is nice. And I just love how my paint goes over this. It just adds this nice little red, background. It's kind of like a red underpainting in a way, but it's a red undersketch. So I am filming this on my phone. I recently just purchased a camera, so in a couple sketchbook spreads after this one, I will have the new camera, which I'm very excited about. The one I'm releasing in a couple weeks, sadly, is still my phone. I think it's pretty okay if I have decent lighting, but it's definitely not the best. It's for sure that cameras and phones just aren't quite the same as an actual camera. So I'm excited to get my Canon. I've got a new vlog Canon. It's like the V1 PowerShot. I got it on sale, so I'm super excited about that. I think a lot of people don't show the entire sketching process. So I thought I'd actually show you what I'm actually sketching, not just the painting. I know there is the cute little gingham patterning down below. I did that off camera because it was dark out and I just felt like it was going to be kind of boring to watch, so I didn't really put it on camera. Hopefully you guys don't mind. It wasn't really that hard to do. If you're wanting to know, yes, I am using reference for all of this. I do not just draw from memory usually. I mean, the little leaves and apples, yes, but not really from reference. This caterpillar is not from reference, but the apple drawings are. So if you're an artist and you're afraid to use reference, please don't be. Please use it. I literally can hardly draw without reference because my visual library is not that big. Even though I'm a very visual person, it's not that big of a library. So please use reference and don't let anyone else tell you that you can't. If it's of another artist, obviously, please credit them. And I don't suggest using AI as reference. Sometimes it happens and you don't realize it's AI, but in general, I'd avoid it. But yeah, I usually do most of my sketching on my couch because I am a couch potato, and sometimes using a desk really hurts my back and neck, and I can prop everything up really nicely on a couch and just chill and relax and watch a video. I've been really into watching Lee Ellickson right now on YouTube, and I'm one of her patrons, and she's just very chill, and her YouTube videos are inspiring for me, so I really like watching her and listening to her podcast. That's probably what I'm listening to, honestly, while I'm working on this whole thing, is just catching up on her podcasts. But this is kind of what a sketchbook draw with me session is here, is honestly like a little podcast of me just watching my artwork and talking about it or other things regarding it. But yeah, so one of the things I did here that I've already done, you can see I colored with I think they're called Languo Gel Pens. I can link them below. I got them on Amazon. So I did the Arrtx, there's the gel pen right there. It's green. There's lots of different colors. I absolutely love these gel pens. They're amazing. And they're great for getting detail. And they pair really nicely with the Arrtx acrylic markers. They're just such a great combo. And the nice thing is I layered the red Arrtx marker over that dark red gel pen, and it looked really nice because the gel pen was almost too dull, and then adding that extra bit was really nice. So have greatly enjoyed these pens. I actually, for being an artist, have a very unsteady hand. I don't know why, but I've always had pretty shaky hands, and so using a paintbrush, I can do it, but it is very hard for me, and isn't always a super fun experience. So being able to paint but with pens has been so fun, and I have just been really enjoying it. I still struggle getting really fine details with the Arrtx, where some people can like get the finest of details with these pens. I am not one of those people, sadly. That's why I like the gel pens to pair with them, because I don't have a steady enough hand to make that fine tip at the end really look super good. So I'm very happy that I have the gel pens to go with them. And you can do a painting with just the Arrtx acrylic markers or just the Languo gel pens. I love combining them together because I feel like I'm not using up so much paint for the gel pens, but like I said, I'm getting the detail I want from the Arrtx. So if you're looking for any markers, please consider these. They're the best thing ever. The gel pens sometimes will get a little sticky and they'll struggle getting the ink out. You can see on that piece of paper that I have all these swirls. So there is a little bit of that. They're not always buttery smooth, but in general, I feel like they're pretty dang good and they blend okay. So yeah, I just love how this spread came out. I think it's so cute. I had this dream of a lanyard design with this super long caterpillar, and you can see the design in my sketchbook vlog that my art vlog that I posted last week, if you want to check that out. But I did this lanyard design in my dream, and so when I got up, I was like, oh my gosh, I need this design. So I painted it out on my tablet, and then I was like, this would be such a cute sketchbook spread. So then I was planning this out in my head and got really excited, and so that's what this is from, is that lanyard inspo. So one of the things I've been really enjoying doing in my sketchbook is these pops of color. I love how this yellow background color is behind the apple. I just feel like it makes it super interesting, and I like the fun shapes. I definitely need to come up with some other ideas than just the starbursty shape. I need to think of something else. I know I could just do a basic square circle, but it's not, I don't know, sometimes I like the more dynamic, but it's also might get a little boring if I always do the same star shape too. So I need to think of other shapes I can do for little backgrounds. But I really enjoyed coloring in these leaves here and doing the lighting with these. Again, I'm using reference to know where I want to put my shadows and where my highlights are, and also just knowing where the light source is and figuring that out. But yeah, you guys will have to tell me if you have used these markers, because they are awesome. I'm not sponsored at all. I just really love using them. Arrtx, if you want to send me markers, I will talk about them for forever because they're like my favorite. So yeah, I used to use Archer and Olive. I still like Archer and Olive, but they do dry out really bad. To be fair though, I let them sit for like 2 years, and I let them sit in the heat at one point, so maybe it's not their fault. But I will say I've had issues with them in the past because they're a hard nib and it can get clogged and icky and just if you can get it smooth, it's smooth, but I don't know. And they don't blend super great. It's like you just put a block of color. These are more like, almost like working with gouache or not, or like acrylics maybe, because you can blend them together if you're fast enough. The hard thing is being fast enough between your two pens. I actually, you saw me drawing. I don't know if other artists do this, but when I'm working with two colors, like an example with these two colors in the sleeve, I probably have one pen in my mouth waiting to switch out with the other pen because I don't have anywhere to set it. So it just goes in my mouth and I just hold it in my mouth, which I'm sure some people think is gross, and it probably is a little gross, but I don't have another option that works really well for me. So, well, I guess here I'm not holding it in my mouth, I'm holding it in my hand, but often I'll just throw it in my mouth and go, oh, okay, this will work. So it looks a little funny when you actually watch me working on these paintings in real life, because I have, you know, pens in my mouth. But I think these leaves came out really, really good and was super fun to do. Everything about this spread was fun. I just, when it was dark out, I was so sad that I couldn't work on it because I had so much fun. Although some of the shots do look really dark, it's because we're in an apartment and the lighting isn't always very good. I live in Michigan and it can be really overcast. And so, yeah, it's natural lighting, but how much are you getting? Not much. Not much natural lighting, that's for sure. So, but yeah, look how nice that detail is with that pen, like that gel pen. Ugh, so pretty. Like, please, they're so fun. And I'm sure they'll look even better when I have an actual nice camera and not my phone when I'm zooming in. Also, I'm sorry, I'm trying to learn to color grade to make things look really good. I have no idea what I'm doing in the least. So hopefully these will look fairly nice, but I really don't know what I'm doing. But I just wanted to try YouTube again. I did it 4 years ago and really, I think I enjoyed it, but at the time I was living at home with my parents. I was working in my bedroom and everything was so tight, and I was working a part-time job and doing cons, and I was so busy and I just felt like I couldn't keep up with YouTube, and I didn't have the money to get the nice equipment. And so my videos were just not the best quality, and it was hard to choose to keep making them when the quality of the sound and the quality of the video was just not great, and I didn't want to put in 7 hours of work for a video that just looked okay. So that's why one of the reasons I quit. I'm now more of an established artist. I work a full-time job as an artist. I travel the US selling my work at Comic-Cons. And so I was actually able to buy a nice mic, and I recently bought a good camera because, the phones nowadays are a lot better than they used to be 4 years ago, but they're still not the best, especially with this kind of detailed work. For video, it's just not there. So I was like, I'm just gonna get a camera. So as long as I keep up with it, it will be fine. But yeah, I was very, very happy with how this piece came out. I know some people will be like, oh, sketchbooks are for like sketchier work. Why does this look so finished? This isn't for a sketchbook. You know what? Everyone can use their sketchbook how they want to use it. You can have a sketchbook that has just rough sketches and more brainstormy, and I think that's great, and you should do that if that's what you want it for. If you want it to be more finished pieces and have fun with it and don't want it to be unfinished sketchy work, then do that. In general, I like to have finished spreads. I'm not a doodler, I'm not a sketcher. I pretty much just make finished art. I'm kind of one of those weird artists that doesn't do a ton of sketching and doodling and thumbnails. I just go, okay, I'm making a painting. And I sit down and I make the painting. I just don't do all the process beforehand. And I've always felt kind of like lesser because I work that way. And I just need to not care. I like sitting down and making a painting and not having all this other random work beforehand that half of it I don't use. And I'm sure a lot of people would say that's lame, but I like how it works for me. So this is what I do. So most of my sketchbook spreads are gonna look very nice and put together. They're not always gonna be like necessarily good, but they will be finished. You know, I'm sure I'll come across some that I'm like, yeah, that just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And like, I still have that happen a lot, like where things just don't turn out the way I like them. But in general, so far in my sketchbook, I have really enjoyed it and I've liked everything I've done to a point. There are things that I don't like about certain things, like my first sketchbook spread, I really like it, but one of my characters, her skin color just never seems to turn out the way I want it to, and I'm always just a little bit like, okay, that's fine. You know, so that happens for sure, but in general, I've really enjoyed what I've been putting into these sketchbooks, and I think that's good. So I'm sure eventually I'll get tired of the style I'm using and switch to something new. I'm still too scared to do something like gouache in here. The only thing about this sketchbook is it is an Arrtx, and it is a very nice sketchbook, and I really like it. But I did not buy the right sketchbook for me because the pages are tearaway pages. So you can tear them out if you want to keep the drawings or sell it or something. And I thought, oh, that'd be a nice option. Well, they just tear away way too easily. Like this spread at the moment in my sketchbook is halfway out of the book. And I hate it so much. And it makes me so sad. So it's not really the fault of the sketchbook, that is how it's designed. It's more of I made that choice to buy the Arrtx tearaway sketchbook, and it was not the choice for me. So I want to see if they have sketchbooks potentially that aren't tearaway, because in general I do really like this. The paper doesn't pill too much. It can if you put a lot of paint down and are trying to blend, but in general it doesn't pill too bad. I'm sure when I get a better camera, you guys are gonna be able to really see all these details much better, and really see what I'm doing, because I'm watching this footage and I'm like, wow, this is blurrier than I thought. That's so sad. Especially because it was a lot of work. I did choose to not do a speed up version of this painting because I wanted you guys to see how long it actually takes to do each individual stroke, not just a speed run. So I just cut out a ton of stuff that wasn't interesting and tried to keep the main things. I hope I did a good job at picking clips. I know there's a few that are like, they're still a little slow, but I don't know, I think that's kind of nice. So usually in general, if you're watching one of these, you're drawing too, and you just look up occasionally, and it's just kind of fun to have somebody in the room. My husband works out of the house, and it's just me and my dog all day until he gets home, and I just get lonely, and having somebody hang out with me on YouTube is always so nice, and watching them sketch or vlog or whatever. So I kind of just want to be one of those channels that if you're home alone or just need some peopling time but don't want to be with people, you can just turn on my channel and enjoy listening to me. I think I got a pretty dang good mic. So hopefully the audio is pretty good. I have kind of sometimes a mumbly voice, and I don't know if that's gonna change, so it's more just if my voice doesn't sound great on the audio, but I did get a good mic. So, yeah. But I feel like we need to name this little caterpillar guy. So if anyone wants to put in suggestions for a name, that would be great, because right now he is just little caterpillar guy. And I think he's really cute and deserves a name. So there is a little bit, I hate bugs, so there's a little bit of me that when I was drawing this, I was like, ooh, gross, gross, that's gross. But I was like, you need to get over it. Whenever I draw bugs, there's a little part of me that goes, nasty, gross. Like, I'm so scared of snails and slugs, and I think my next sketchbook or spread has a snail in it. And I was just like, you need to get over it, because they're cute. Just get over your gross, icky part. And it did come out really cute. I actually want to put it on a tote bag. So I'm really excited to show you guys that. I'm sad it's not filmed on the nicer camera, but you're gonna have to wait for that. You know, I don't feel like it's always right to wait to start when you're excited about something. Just start with what you have, and then let things, you know, improve as they naturally should. And I kind of think that's where I was at with this, is I'm like, I want to do this, and they're not going to be perfect. Like, there's a couple clips in my vlog coming out next week that I'm working on that the audio is just so bad because I didn't have my mic yet. And I'm like, do I just keep this? And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. We can keep this. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. And there'll always be people that have complaints, and that's okay. They are allowed to have complaints if they want to. So if there's something that you're looking at starting and wanting to start, but you don't have everything for it, or you don't have the money to have everything for it, just start where you're at and go from there. You know, I'm regretting that I quit YouTube years ago when I was younger, because it would have been really cool to have had a channel and a community on YouTube for, 4 years, but I didn't. I quit it. And so I'm really hoping that my neurodivergent brain can stay excited about this, and even when I'm not, still be committed, because I really want to keep doing this, and I really want to share my art more than just at events, because I do like Comic-Cons, but they are incredibly exhausting. I am always so tired at them, so tired after them, burnt out. I have 3 coming up in a row in May, and I'm a little dreading it. But if you're near those events, you can come see me. I'm going to be in Traverse City, so Cherry Capital Comic-Con, and then we're going to Denver Fan Expo, and then we are going to Indiana Comic-Con Fan X. So I'm going to be at all those events. So if you're in the area and you want to come say hi, I will be there. So probably really tired, especially near the end. I almost always get sick in Denver because I get really bad altitude sickness, and pretty much every time I go to Denver, that happens. So I'm hoping this year I won't get sick, because it's the middle show and I don't really want to be sick at the middle of the show. But yeah, we have 3 cons, and then my mom comes to visit for a week, and then we have a break in July. So I'm trying to get a ton of YouTube content done before the busy schedule, so that I can be uploading while I'm gone and just have it scheduled to upload. So I need to finish quite a few videos, and be ahead of the game. So I'm actually recording this on May 5th, the audio for this, and this video was done a while ago. So it will be nice to have this up a week early, or ready a week early. And then the other sketchbook spread, I'm halfway done with it. Just need to finish that up. And I'm working on my next vlog. So yeah, but the vlogs are really fun. I did not have as much fun last time with them, and I think it's because it was just me filming me. And now my husband shows up in the vlogs, and he's my best friend. I love him so much. And I have a dog, and I can film her, and she's adorable and a pain in the butt. So the vlogs have been like so fun. I'm just having such a blast with them. Yeah, hopefully you are liking this voiceover. It's very chit-chatty about random stuff. It's kind of a long paint with me video. I think this entire painting took no more than 2.5 hours, I would say. It really wasn't that bad, and I got it down to about 30 minutes of recording time, and I just wanted to keep the most interesting pieces of it, not just everything. So I have all the footage though, and I edited it down nicely, and I think it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours, something like that. And I might put it up on my Patreon. I might consider doing videos a month on my Patreon. Right now it's just behind the scenes content. You get weekly behind the scenes content, and you can get a print and a sticker every month too, or you can just get just the print. But it's super cool and has been fun. Sorry, I got distracted. My light turned off, and I guess the battery's dead. But it just it didn't even dim. It just went off. So it surprised me. Yeah, this marker right here came out way darker and less saturated than I wanted. So it was really cool that the red acrylic pen wasn't so opaque that it didn't cover it completely. It really just tinted it, red, and that was really neat. So, man, I got a few more minutes left, and I'm feeling like I said everything I wanted to say. But you guys should put in the comments if you have an idea for another spread that you want me to do. I really like nature and cute animals. I also have sketchbook spreads of my characters. So one of the main things I do is I sell all my original characters at cons and merchandise that goes with them. And we have a comic, and it's super fun. If you want to check out the comic, it's such a blast. It's so cute. It's on Webtoons, and we post every other Wednesday there. It's a really good time. So I would check it out. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me there as well. We post 2 to 3 times a week, I would say, which is nice. Yeah, but feel free if you guys have any tips on what you would want to see more of, what you like, what you don't like, just let me know. I'm not necessarily going to take the advice of everything because it is my channel, but it's nice to know what people enjoy and don't enjoy. So if you rather just a little bit more of just me painting and sound effects, I can try to do that. Also, is this setup of me doing it on the couch just terrible? Again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to change it because my habits are pretty ingrained in me, but let me know if you hated it. I know it's not as aesthetic as, the beautiful desk with all the pens, but I don't really have that. Oh, right here, I finished the spread, and I went to put everything away, and I found this blue pen in my bag because I put a bag together with all my colors, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot I was gonna finish with this blue pen. So I went in and quickly added all my shadows with the blue pen, and I just feel like it made it pop and look so good. I was so happy I used the blue pen because it just added so much to this painting that it needed. But yeah, we're coming to the end, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me, and I hope that you got some work done. Let me know what you worked on or did, or if you literally just sat there and watched the whole thing, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, if you were painting, tell me what you were painting. I want to know. Bye.